Hi, I'm Buono. Today I'll show you what I've built with Fusion 360. Even for non-mechanical engineers, this is a 3D CAD tool you pick up fast. That's today's topic. Two things to cover: what Fusion 360 is and what you can do with it. I'll walk through both quickly. A quick introduction. My name is Buono, and I work as a hardware engineer. I share content about technology and DIY electronics. That hobby actually paid off recently. I wrote for Interface magazine from CQ Publishing in the July 2021 issue for a feature called the IoT Globe. I wrote an article for it. It's for IoT beginners, covering how to build things step by step with the full picture. Check it out if you're interested. Now, some background. I usually do DIY electronics on my own. Working solo means firmware design, circuit design, enclosure design, all on me. And for enclosure design, there are a lot of tools out there. The one I found was Fusion 360. It's really good, and even though I'm not a mechanical engineer, I picked it up easily, so I wanted to recommend it to you. Let's start with what Fusion 360 is. In one line, it's an all-purpose 3D CAD tool. It has three main strengths. First, it's packed with features. It's widely used in industry and the automotive world, so the feature set is genuinely rich. For DIY electronics, you may never touch most of those features, but pretty much anything you want to do can be done in this tool. For surface design, for example, you can shape smooth, curved surfaces, or cut a section to look inside. All of that is built in. Second, it's intuitive to work with. Even I was up and running fast. Usability is often the sticking point with 3D CAD, but out of all the 3D CAD tools I've tried, Fusion 360 was one of the easiest to handle. It really does feel intuitive, so I'd encourage you to give it a try. The third strength is that it's free. With all these features and software this polished and easy to use, hobby use is completely free. Put those three together, and that's Fusion 360 in a nutshell. To get more specific, for DIY electronics, I mainly use it in these ways. First, output to a 3D printer. I think this is the main one. When you design your own enclosure and want to prototype it, a 3D printer is by far the best match. Even when I'm not printing anything, I use it a lot for solo brainstorming. There's a limit to sketching on paper. Which parts, how they fit together, whether the whole thing is even feasible. When you're thinking that through, 3D CAD beats paper, easier to verify, and ideas grow. It's a sketchbook too, worth keeping in mind. Now let me show you some things I built with Fusion 360. I'll switch to my screen and keep talking there. Here are a few. First up is a gadget I built called the cocktail cube, shaped like an ice cube. I've covered what this gadget does in another video, so please take a look at that one. I designed this enclosure in Fusion 360 as well. Here's what's inside. Fusion 360 can do section analysis like this, so you can easily see inside. Looking inside, it's split into several layers. The bottom layer holds a color sensor. Above that is a case for something chilled that stands in for ice. Above that sits the Bluetooth board, which lets it talk to a smartphone. Above that is a coin cell, and then the power switch. All of this is sealed inside the ice shape, and you drop it into your cocktail. Next is Memie, a gadget I built for keeping an eye on kids. Like the cocktail cube earlier, I made this one for a hardware contest called Guggen. I've covered how to use it in another video, so please check that one out too. Here's a quick look inside. If I take a cross-section, it looks like this. Changing the level a little, we get this view. Looking around here, there's a Raspberry Pi, an interface board, and the wiring. To join the head and the body, there are magnets in 5 places here. You can't see it at this layer, but the Soracom Air module is right here. There's also a lithium-ion battery, and its control board sits in this section. Go one layer down and there it is. When you pack this many parts in, paper really doesn't cut it. This is exactly where 3D CAD shows its strength, and Fusion 360 was invaluable here. As for how I designed Mimi's elephant shape, it started out like this. Just a flat 2D image. I took that illustration into 3 dimensions using Fusion 360's Create Form feature, which lets you build curved surfaces and shape the curves until they looked right. That's how I built Mimi's enclosure. Next up is a digital Mahjong gadget I came up with. I never actually built it, but I used Fusion 360 while brainstorming, so I'll show you. In short, it digitizes Mahjong. I was playing a lot of Mahjong at the time, often on an automatic table, but those are loud and huge, so you can't really keep one at home. I wondered if I could digitize it and get the same automatic table behavior in a smaller form. The mat and the tiles work as a pair. Inside each tile, there are several components. It's a bit hard to see, but there are coils placed around it, along with a lithium battery and a display. The mat has coils too, so just like charging an iPhone, when you set a tile down here, the mat supplies power and the tile face appears on the display. That was the system I had in mind. The problem was the budget. Each tile came out at 2,000 or 3,000 yen, which made it hard to justify, so the plan is on hold for now. It's great for brainstorming, so I wanted to show it. Here's another brainstorm, still very much a work in progress. When I was building a pillow gadget, when I'm working out where each part goes, I use Fusion 360 for that. One more thing, as a bonus, Fusion 360 can also animate motion. Like this, you can tell it which parts are linked together, and once that's defined, moving one part shows how the others move, so you can test the mechanism. So that's a tour of what I've built, shown on my computer screen. I've covered quite a few things, but what I most want to get across is that it's just plain fun. As I said at the start, it's intuitive to use, so the picture in your head takes shape fast. Your ideas keep expanding, and you can keep refining your own concepts. That feeling is something you have to try yourself. I'll say it again, it's free, so download it and give it a go. One last thing, let me recommend a book. This one, Fusion 360 Modeling Master. I used it a lot. It walks you through phone stands and small containers as hands-on projects, so you learn the workflow. It's written for beginners and very clear. Recommended. All right, to wrap up, Fusion 360 is great even for non-mechanical engineers, an all-purpose 3D CAD tool. If you want to use a 3D printer or even just brainstorm ideas, please give it a try. And that's it for this video. On this channel, I share content about technology, including DIY electronics. Please subscribe if you enjoyed it. Comments and likes are always welcome. Thanks for watching.